and welcome to Black Women Speak. I am Giselle Shapiro, the founder and CEO of Black Women Speak, the movement, the network, the upcoming book, and yes, we are focusing on the Black Women Speak book series. I'm also the senior producer of the Black Women Speak network, and I am super excited and proud to be interviewing a phenomenal woman. Her name is Tina Austin Hill. She is a business owner, a mentor, a life coach, and the creator and executive producer of Love Without Strings TV. She is also one of our esteemed co-authors in Black Women Speak the book. How are you today, Tina?
I am wonderful, Giselle. How are you today?
Oh, God, I'm fantastic. It was so nice to warm up and talk to you and get to know about your story, your papa, and all
my
the
goodness.
wonderful things that you're about to share with our viewers today.
Yes,
I am just
yes.
super excited. How are you handling life these days with the pandemic and all that's going on?
Well, I will say this about the pandemic. Let's just go there. Well, you know what? I will say this, and I want to honestly say that this pandemic has been an eye-opening experience.
Mm-hmm.
It has been a phenomenally enlightening transition if you are paying attention.
Yes, waking up.
That's what it's been. For me, that's what it's been. I think, sometimes you have to just get silent. And sometimes the universe, God has to say, okay, let me bring everybody into alignment. And there's this catastrophic thing that has to happen in order to move everybody into pieces and into places. And
Absolutely.
So I really believe that this pandemic is that for this time, this season, and this new way of thinking for everyone to move forward in what is the rest of the purpose and destiny of their lives.
I wholeheartedly agree. It's an awakening, in
Oh,
particular
yes.
for Black people.
Obviously, and for us, it has been, the oppression, the suppression, the mistreatment, the overlooked women, just all of those things has had to enlighten all of us to say there has to be a change. We cannot continue on this path. We have struggled, we have fought, we have marched, we have suffered, we have settled, we have done all of these things, and none of that has worked. So now I believe it is so timely what you're talking about and saying, having this book, it's time to speak.
Absolutely.
It's time to talk.
Absolutely. And
it's time to talk.
I read articles every day with people feeling compelled to share their story. So there's opinion pieces in all these newspapers and magazine articles, so we do see that awakening, and it's our time now to rise up and share with the world, actually, because they want to hear what we have to say. And that's how we're going to have sustainable change. And Anita, and Tina, can you share a little bit about your background with our viewers?
Yeah, no problem. I am a product of, I always like to say, the Society of Teenage Motherhood. I am one of those elite.
Me too. Hey, me too. 17.
Yes, that's what I was. So I had my daughter. I have two children, by the way. I'm a mother. But I had my daughter at the age of 17. And I literally had to become a woman as I was a mother. Mm-hmm. And so that story for me, or that plight, that path for me, has created just a plethora of information and wisdom, becoming who God has called me to be. I'm married. I have, like I said, I have two children. I have a son and a daughter. I own a business. The business that I do own is a compliance company as a contractor for the Housing and Urban Development Corporation. So
Beautiful.
I deal with HUD. and affordable housing. One of the things that I believe is that everyone deserves decent, safe, and
Absolutely.
sanitary housing. I believe that one of the commodities in which we have is housing, and one of the things that housing does is keep a person stable.
Wonderful.
So a lot of what we see even going on in this pandemic, and a lot of things that are transitioning, are going to deal with people's stability.
Yeah.
It's their stability that is in question or is in danger. And so
Absolutely.
I believe right now we have to start talking about who we are and what we've gone through. I was homeless. I've been through, no lights, no food, barely having 25 cents to get a piece of ice cream from a daughter when she asked. And those things have had to change. The trajectory of those stories and those things in my life and those testimonies had to change and have me become who I am today. So I'm grateful for being that of who God called me to be, and the purpose and the destiny of my life. And I coach, I mentor, I do all of those things. But in the process, at the end of the day, I am a Black woman with a voice that has something to say. And I know that what I have to say is for this time and this season right now, for the women and anyone that's listening to all of our interviews and this particular interview. There's something for you that's in my story that will encourage you to become all you are supposed to be. Because we don't want
Absolutely.
anything. We don't want anything turned over. We don't want you to miss your destiny, not even a little bit. Not
No,
even a little bit.
not on our watch.
No,
Take it from us. Not on our watch. You know,
exactly.
um, Tina, your chapter, it's consistency creates the miracle. Can you tell me
Oh,
why
wow.
you gave it that title and a little bit
Oh,
about your
my God.
story? Just a little bit.
Yes.
Don't give away too
So
much.
I won't. So I honestly, I was walking. Okay, so this year I totally decided to get myself together. My message needs to match my body. Okay. Um, so I have been working out.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, and so I'm walking, I do my little walk in the morning, do my little 3 mile walk. And I hear this: consistency creates the miracle.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I'm like, consistency creates the miracle. What is that, Lord? What are you talking about? And
Mhm.
so the bottom line for it is, if you continue doing what you're supposed to do and on a consistent basis of what you've
Mhm.
been given,
Mhm.
the miracle that you're looking for
Mhm.
is in that consistency. You
Mhm.
have to do the work. And that's what we all have to do the work. The work is not, it doesn't go away. You can't just snap your fingers and go, okay, this is what I want to do. You have to create the miracle within your consistency. And so that's where that comes from. And when you read the book, you will understand what that means according to your purpose and destiny.
Oh, good. I love it. And the title of the book was God inspired. I find when I'm alone or in solitude, that's when all the miracles come to me, all the ideas. And just make sure when things come to you, write that stuff down.
Write it down.
Dr. Anita and
Write it
I were talking
quickly.
yesterday. Oh, write it down, because if you don't, you know it's so good, but you can't
It
remember
is.
exactly what,
It
if you
is.
give it. Yeah.
It is, because even when I created the Love Without Strings TV,
Hmm.
that line came to me. I was like, Love Without Strings. I was like, Lord, whoa, 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 whoa. But honestly, I grew up, and I'll tell you this, and I hope this helps somebody. Growing up, love has a tendency to have strings attached.
Hmm.
The way that you interpret the blueprint of your life, the
Hmm.
way that you move in life, what has imprinted into you as you have walked your journey,
Hmm.
it becomes strings that are attached to how you love. And when that happens, and it's not it is not intended to be what God said love is, then you are interpreting love incorrectly. And so now you have all these pitfalls. And so what Love Without Strings does is teach you how to walk your path without those strings, cutting those strings so that you can
Hmm.
walk in what true love looks like for
Good girl.
yourself, for relationships, for your business, however it shows up. Love will always be the bottom line, because it is a conqueror of all things.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, yes. Oh, I was going to bring up the blueprint for your life, and I love it. That's such a wonderful, what is it?
Because yes, the blue,
Analogy.
and now
It's
it's the
beautiful.
blueprint. Because what you don't understand is that your path is what imprints upon you every single
Mm,
day. Your testimony, your experiences, they imprint, they put a blueprint. So when you see a blueprint, when they are drawing your house or drawing a structure,
mm-hmm.
they are taking a pen and they are pressing and
Exactly.
moving those places around. And so you have to remember, where did you get pressed and where did that string come from? And is it even the correct analogy of what I should even be thinking about? And that's what we have to get. That's why our world and our society is where it's at.
Absolutely.
Because it
Yes.
has no understanding what the love of what love really looks like. It
Yes.
doesn't matter what color you are.
Yes.
It doesn't matter all of those things.
Yes.
But what the problem is, you've taken that and you've gone, oh, okay, well, I can't love that because of this, or I can't love that because of that. And even with our own women, and I'm gonna just say this, and I don't know why I feel led to say it like this, but we, I'm sorry, but we as Black women have to stop all the isms and the schisms, because we are supposed to pull each other up. What I
Yes.
have is mine, but what you have is yours. And so it doesn't even matter one bit that you're doing, which
Exactly.
I need to make sure you're winning, because when you win, we're all winning.
That's right.
We're all winning.
Yes.
And
Stronger
I mean,
together.
we're stronger. I'm so excited about this project. I'm so excited that we're doing this, because when we are lifting each other up, we are moving and I mean, literally, I'm gonna tell you, it's an entity. It's literally an entity that's moving. It's an organism, and it's moving. It's alive. We as Black women, we are alive, and we have to
Mm,
let people know we are alive. I said to Giselle earlier, we have built this country on our backs. Black, I don't care if you want to sit up there and you want to go back to slavery and you want to go talk about all of that kind of stuff, but I will tell you, it is always, somebody can quote me on this, it is always a Black woman with the plan.
we got a plan, girl. We're going to take this train. We're going to take this train and move it on all
The
over the
train.
world. Okay?
Exactly. We
Wonderful.
have the plan. We
Good.
have the plan, because we had to, like I told you, we didn't have to feed their kids. We didn't have to take care of their kids. We didn't have to clean their house. We didn't have to do all these things. And you think we didn't have the plan? I tell somebody all the time, I said, I thank God the Lord got my mind, because if he didn't get me, I'd be a white collar crime criminal, because that's how strategic my mind is.
That's wonderful, Miss Tina. And tell me, I got so many questions for you, but what pulls at your heartstrings given the state of our country right now?
Our children.
Mm-hmm.
Our children, my 9-year-old, I talk about my 27-year-old, but my 9-year-old, I'm concerned. Back before, a long time ago, I have these two kids. One's a millennial, the other one's a Gen Zer, and
Mm-hmm.
I have both sides, and I'm listening to the millennial, and I was laughing with Jill, and I said, hey, they didn't found out we don't know nothing. We just sitting over here trying to fly by. They didn't figure it out. They crazy. This group, y'all, mama, y'all, Generation X, baby, but y'all just real crazy. The millennials done found us out, y'all. Okay. They done found us out. But the 9-year-old is very, I want to say, he's very intuitive of what the situation is.
Mm-hmm.
He's very aware that we have some issues that we need to correct. And if we don't correct them, it's going to affect him. Mm-hmm. Before, back in the day, we didn't have to teach our kids not to walk down the street with a hoodie on. And that wasn't part of the conversation.
Right.
The conversation now is giving our children information so that they become safe.
Yeah.
We now had to switch our conversation from, hey, Jimmy, don't go, Tom, don't, come in when the lights are on. No, you just ain't going outside right now.
I know. That is
we went from
so true.
Drive, you can go down the block and ride your bike. And now we like, no, you just going to go upstairs on that PlayStation for a second, because you don't need to even go outside right now, because we're not even sure. Yeah. So the kids are what is the concern, and making sure that they become liability, they become assets to this community, and then they're not liabilities,
Right.
that they don't become angry,
Mm-hmm.
and then they take that anger and they misuse it. They have to turn that around for construction and constructive erection of new systems.
Absolutely.
They have to be able to navigate this thing. One thing that I don't want them to forget is our history, because they need
Absolutely.
to have a foundation of why we're trying to get where we need to be.
Exactly. And, more about our history and our past is coming up as people are sharing. So I'm so engrossed in reading about these inventors and all these amazing people in our history that have been covered up, and just exposing it gives us
Exactly.
a sense of pride in knowing that
Exactly.
no, we weren't just doing what we did in Africa and came over here and had to work as slaves. No, there was
No,
so
no.
much
There
going
was so much
on
more.
with our heritage and our people
Right.
to be proud. So
Right.
the one thing that we're moving right now is we're moving us forward as a people by sharing our voices and not settling and looking for sustainable change. We want the change that we deserve today. And we're
Right.
doing what we need to do as women to make sure that we get there. So,
And yeah, I hear you. And so one of the things what you just said just like triggered something for me.
mhm,
It
mhm.
was you were saying, we have to share the story. We have to get. Let me say this about us as women. We need to share our mothers' stories,
Oh,
because see,
yes.
they've been silent. They were silenced. We need to share our mother's stories and our grandmother's stories, because we didn't get here without those stories propelling and encouraging us to be who we were supposed to be. When I literally stepped out and started my own business, my grandmother was like, "Oh my goodness." It was not fathomed to, it didn't even register in her mind that I could own a business and be a women
Yes.
business owner. It didn't even
Yes.
register for her. and
Yes.
and so she was so proud. And
Mhm.
then to listen to my mother be, she opened her own daycare. Well, that's where I got
Good.
it from.
Wonderful.
She had her own daycare. We were the only Black daycare in Orange County, which is a predominantly white area. We had
Beautiful.
70 children. She was working out of, before they even thought about sliding scales and single moms
Mhm,
and helping.
mhm.
My mom had
Mm.
all of that going on,
Beautiful.
all of
Beautiful.
that stuff. So it's teaching and the foundation of the story of even the ones that were before us. And I love
I
that you
love.
said that about the inventing. You know, be proud of who you are.
Mhm,
Be proud of where
mhm.
you come from. I come from my mother and my father. My father was the first African American uh, fire chief for Orange County in Orange County. I mean, who does that in the 70s, 80s,
Yes.
90s? Who does that kind of stuff? He was a
Beautiful.
trailblazer in his own right. And
Absolutely.
so I had to learn it from someplace. I was
Mhm,
watching somebody, you
mhm.
know, and I think that when we back ourselves up and we say, okay, even in the one who maybe your mom, y'all didn't have a good relationship, you were raised by your whatever. At the end of the day, go find something that she did that was great and expound on that.
Wonderful. We have a few women who are in their latter years of life who are in the book, and they share their wisdom and all that they've overcome in their lives.
Yes.
It's a truly inspiring set of stories that'll transform your life and see what's possible for you. I'm
Yes.
just delighted and excited and to move this movement forward and
Yes.
get it to the people that need it the most. And Tina, can you share 2 or 3 pieces of advice that you want to help our audience get through today's times?
Okay. Well, the first thing I would like to say is encourage yourself.
Mm,
This day and time, there is really not a lot that is encouraging right now.
mhm,
I mean, the climate is so polarized with
mhm.
racial, comments. I mean, you probably had friends that you didn't even know thought like that, and now you're like, "Whoa, wait a minute, where did that come from?"
Mhm,
But the first thing is encourage yourself in this
mhm,
time. You
mhm.
know, don't don't despise that you are your biggest cheerleader,
Mm.
because you're going to need to be that for you.
Yes. Yes.
You know, the second thing that I would say in all things is to make sure that you have a place of self-care. See,
Mm-hmm.
because self-care is going to center you, it's going to align you with your purpose and your destiny. And you don't want to miss that in this time. That's the second
Yes.
thing. And the third thing is live life to its fullest, even in the pandemic.
Yes.
Live your life to its fullest. Don't leave not one stone unturned. If you like it, like it. If you love it, love it. Don't let anybody tell you any different. You know, one of my biggest things is I love to shop, and I love nice shoes and purses.
Ah,
And nobody is going to stop me from finding a shoe and a purse.
that's wonderful. I love it. I love your three pieces of advice because I'm sure you got some women agreeing with you with the shoes and the purses.
I love some shoes and some purses.
Ah,
Okay.
fantastic. I just love it. I just love it. And tell me, what are a few possible solutions for peace on earth?
Mm. I'm gonna go back to our kids. Our
Mm,
kids are the ultimate solution to peace on earth. If we are able to instill the wisdom
mm,
of God in them,
mm.
understanding who they are, being proud of who they are, then
Yes.
peace will come, because then it will resonate in no one trying to up the next person. It will be a
Mhm,
collaborative. You got this, you got this, I got this. There's a scripture that comes to mind all the time when it
mhm,
talks about the body of Christ, and that you need the
mm,
eyes just like you need the arms, just like you need the fingers, just like you need the ears, just like you need the head, just like you need the feet. We
mhm,
all need each other,
mhm. Yes.
no matter how you look at it.
Yes.
This was not a solo plight. This was a
Right.
team effort.
Yes. And if you need help, seek it out.
Yes.
Don't
Yes.
go it alone. There are so many women, so many men, so many people in a community that will embrace you and what you want out of this life. Trust me.
Somebody knows.
I've reached out and they've been coming like angels. So it is
This is a
possible.
team effort. This is a team effort.
Absolutely.
Peace is a
Absolutely.
team effort, and you have to want it for everybody. I
Yes.
am a soul wholehearted believer that you want to have peace for everybody, not just yourself, but everybody around you. That's
Yes.
that's the big thing.
Yes. And one more question before we part.
No
Do you
problem.
believe the world needs more Black women to share their stories and why? You touched a little bit, but I want to hear a little bit more.
Yes, absolutely. Black women have a knack for anything and everything. We can come up with a solution for anything and
Uh huh.
everything.
Uh huh.
We know, I hate to say it like this, but I'm going to just say it anyway and just put it out there. We just know everything. Okay? We just know everything. We have a way to fix everything. And I believe that the solutions are in the minds of Black women. The solutions for this world are in the minds of I'm so excited for Kamala. I'm so excited for her, because just in case brother go fall down, we gonna be in there. Okay. We gonna be in there.
Don't worry.
But no, but seriously, there is now going to be, I believe, a Black woman in the White House, which is going to bring solutions to the systems that have been broken.
Yeah, they've been set up to keep us back
They
and
and
down
there's
and
an
and
individual that
nowhere but
has a
up.
clue.
So yes.
Has a clue. And I believe that as Black women, we have the solutions. We know what it takes to fight. We are tenacious. We are warriors. We will get
Yes.
to the end of a thing. We don't let it just fall. We don't let it just settle. We will fight until it is finished. And that is the thing that's in us as Black women that the world needs to know.
Yes. Absolutely.
What we
Absolutely. Without a doubt. And
That's
the
it.
voices of Black women are going to make our voices heard. We'll
It
be
is
seen and
time.
heard and reveled,
It is
respected,
time.
acknowledged. I am thrilled to
I
interview
am
you today, Tina
I am
Austin
glad.
Hill. This has been fantastic. And
Yes.
any parting words before we leave you?
Well, I thank you so much. I am, like I said, I am excited about this movement. Like I said, it is an entity, it is an organism that is alive. And
Mm-hmm.
us as Black women are alive and
Yes.
well. And we
Yes.
have a story, we have stories, we have
Mm-hmm.
testimonies, and we have solutions. And so
Yes.
I am excited to hear the words, the testimonies, the stories, and
Mm-hmm.
also the solutions to
Mm-hmm.
help us become who we are, not
Mm-hmm.
just for us as a community, but also for the world, because
Yes.
this is a world thing. This is a kingdom shift. It is a
Mm-hmm.
shift for all of us. And so I am excited. I'm excited to be a part of this project. I can't wait to see what it's going to do. It is going to be massively phenomenal for this world. And I want to say to you, Giselle, thank you for being the conduit
Mm.
of
Thank you.
this movement. I thank you
Mm.
for pulling us all together and making us and pushing us to tell our stories, because we've
Mm.
been silent for so long, but it's
Mm.
necessary now.
Yep.
And so I thank you and I honor you for who you
Mm.
are and how you have become and how you are becoming and how you are pulling the rest of us into
Yes.
destiny and purpose. And I thank you for that. I really do.
God bless you. Thank you so much. I love you, Tina. I love you. I love my sisters. And I am Giselle Shapiro. And I was super excited to share Tina Austin Hill's story and the stories of the other sisters in Black Women Speak. It's time we tell our stories. Order your copy of the book and order
Yes,
a second copy for a sister that you care about on the
absolutely.
website www.blackwomen.speakthebook.com. And until next time, thank you for watching Black Women Speak. Goodbye and God bless. Thank you.